Hi Libra, welcome to your mid-April astrology and tarot reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're regular here, and if you're new, very welcome. Please like and subscribe the video if you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to check out your moon and rising sign. It can sometimes add additional information to the overall scope. Now, Libra, Jupiter on the 10th of April went retrograde, and it went retrograde in your third house. Okay, so Jupiter is, when Jupiter goes retrograde, it's a wonderful time to remind yourself of what Jupiter is doing for you. So Jupiter has been in this sector since November, December time. And for you, it's your third house of communication. Your environment around you, how you speak, how you present yourself, writing, languages. Jupiter is blessing you in these areas. It's a great time for Libras to write articles, to write books, to learn new languages. That is where your spotlight is. Now, Jupiter is going to go retrograde here. And what this means is that you must reassess until August 11th. You must reassess what it is that you want to get out of this Jupiter cycle. Now, this doesn't mean Jupiter's powers stop working. It doesn't mean that you won't get that article published, you won't get recognition for the book that you've been writing. It doesn't mean that at all. What it actually means, Libra, is that you will reassess how it is that you communicate. If you're writing a piece, you may actually go back and change it completely. If you're writing your own narrative, if you're into the law of attraction, you will monitor carefully what words you put out into the universe. I was talking about this in the Virgo reading, that what you're putting out there will echo back to you. Even if Jupiter is in retrograde, the universe still hears you. Jupiter is the great benefic and it likes to bless, but if it feels as though you're lacking in gratitude in retrograde season, it may feel slightly dormant. Okay, so be grateful, be excited, be enthusiastic, but don't put too much pressure on yourself to make everything happen at once in these areas. We do have a full moon again, the second one in your sign. It's in the 29th degree this time. It was in the first degree, so there is some kind of open and close of a chapter between March and April. So look back carefully to where you were during the last full moon on March 20th. It was a supermoon in your sign. And just because Mercury was retrograding doesn't mean you won't get the benefits of the full moon energy. No. All eyes will be on you. And you may make some kind of personal choice. You may make some sort of decision. It could be tough, or it could be pleasant. It really depends on what it is that you wish to change, but it's a personal choice. You may even consider how much personal freedom and personal choice you have in your life, because it isn't well aspected to Uranus. And I kind of get this vibe that if you aren't totally happy, because Uranus is in your 8th house of deep, intense commitments, if you're not that happy with your relationships and the depth that they have, you may find yourself making a difficult choice, or you may find yourself going through a period of introspection where you really carefully consider and you monitor what is going on. Now, Sun will conjunct Uranus on the 22nd in the 8th house, because Taurus season, as I said, is all about that deep personal energy that you have. You may feel slightly impulsive, you may feel quite irrational, you may simply feel incredibly emotional. Listen to them. You'll want to act, you will want to act, you will want to make some sort of change. With Jupiter retrograding in your communication sector, I will advise this. Think about it and talk about it with someone that you trust very deeply. Could be a Taurus. Because they are going through, obviously they are your 8th house counterpart, they are going through this transition themselves on a personal level, but they're more excited about it. So if you're feeling that your relationships need some sort of advice, or you want to share a secret with somebody, I imagine it's probably a Taurus, but it doesn't have to be. Just make sure it's somebody that you trust, Libra. So if you want to talk about something, or if you want to act but you know it's kind of impulsive, talk to somebody you trust, okay? Just make sure you do that. Uranus is wonderful at shaking up change. It's wonderful at shaking up our environments, but it is also a little bit tempestuous if you're not careful. Now that Uranus is still in the very, 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 very early stages of its Taurus cycle, you may actually find the energies are quite hard to cope with. You know, you might find that you're not completely comfortable with the impulses that you feel at the moment. So do let it settle. Do talk with someone you trust, Libra. You are needing to be balanced at this time, as always. Now, the Three of Pentacles here is suggesting some kind of community, some kind of support system. You may have two confidants that you would like to speak to whenever the emotions get higher. Your problem, though, is that you are impulsive enough not to just observe. The Hanged Man always comes up when you need to do nothing at some point, okay? So there's a need to observe from a different perspective. Gabriella Chilme has this song, and it always reminds me of Libras, and it's funny because she is a Libra. I don't know if you've heard of her or not. She kind of only had the one song that I know of, but one of the lyrics is, "The world's a better place when it's upside down." That's kind of the theme here too. The Hanged Man, he's upside down and he's seeing things from a different perspective. And what would put it more in balance of you looking the right way up all the time than maybe looking from a different perspective? That's what you need to do. You need to pause and reflect and talk to these people. The Empress is in your positive position, which is of course a Venus card, which is in turn a Libra card. We have Venus here. Now Venus, interestingly, because the Empress has come up, it's worth mentioning this. Venus moves into Aries, which would be your partnership Venus cycle. Venus isn't necessarily that well suited to Aries, I must say, because Aries is very self-centered at worst, very impulsive, and Venus likes to keep the peace, likes to keep the harmony, and loves partnerships. You're always going to be a Venus-ruled sign. The Empress is telling you that you're imposing these beautiful qualities onto the world. You're contributing great sense of style, great beauty, great charm, great grace. And you have all these wonderful things going for you. So what is the challenge? It is the Hierophant. It is committing to something. It is the emotional depth of a partnership or the longevity of a partnership. And it may also be that you just don't quite know what you're standing for. And there's that expression that if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for everything. You need to in place some sort of belief system or routine, okay? You need to have some kind of routine going. And I know that there has been all this Piscean energy. Venus will be there until the 20th. It is conjunct Neptune at times. And, you know, it's for you, it's occurring in your sector of routine and habit. But for some reason, this is suggesting that's off. And it may be because it's conjunct Neptune, because Neptune has this foggy energy. You may not be feeling like you can commit to things if you're committing to a diet or a health routine or, even working a certain amount of hours in a project. Your commitments to something is wavering. Now, Venus will go into Aries on the 20th, so it's worth bearing in mind. A spark is coming. A new spark, a new beginning, a new change. I love the Ace of Wands. I think it's probably my favourite ace. Let's see what else is here. The Seven of Wands. And the King of Pentacles. Okay, so I have to clarify because I don't leave it on a court card. Strength. Wowza. Okay. Wow. I love this. This is, okay, so you could be dealing with an earth sign. Let's see what's underneath, Libra. Justice. Well, that's you. That is you. That is the law. That is the legal system. Funny. Jupiter in Sagittarius is a lot to do with politics, the law, that kind of thing. So I'm just wondering about that. Now, the scales of justice. Okay. So you are definitely reassessing your deeper relationships or lack thereof, because I feel like something is missing, and it's something steady, and it's something that gives you personal strength, you know? Whatever, you're seeking personal strength from something that you don't have at the moment, and that's where the emotional feelings are coming from. That's where the tetchiness is coming from. That's where the upset is coming from. Now, for a lot of you, I think there's probably an earth sign coming in. Now, I did say about leaning on Taurus. Taurus has come up here. And actually, the Empress can represent a female Taurus. So if you have a female Taurus in your life, they may be coming to the fore on a matter where you feel very fraught or feel very emotional, and they could be providing a very stable force. Even with strength, it is somebody stepping in to be a calming influence. I think a lot of you could meet a Taurus that you would be romantically interested in, or a Capricorn or a Virgo. Earth signs seem to be providing you with a sense of strength and a sense of calm, even if you're not getting on very well at the minute. Okay, but for a lot of you, I think it's somebody coming in. The King of Pentacles, though, it doesn't have to be Earth, but it will be an influence who's very stable, who's very loving, who is not gushy. They don't give everything away with their words. They're more prone to telling you how they feel by their actions, which is important because that's kind of what balances you out. Now, with the Seven of Wands, you will feel defensive at times moving into Taurus season because it is kind of heavy. There's a heaviness with Taurus season, but there's also great powers of attraction. With the Sun conjunct Uranus, this could be somebody that comes out of nowhere. An 8th house type relationship, very emotionally intense, very possessive, possibly jealous at times. And the Ace of Wands can be this real spark, new relationship, comes out of nowhere. And, you know, for some of you, you might actually begin the relationship fighting with this person, you're arguing about something. With strength, I see an aspect to the relationship that a lot of tarot experts and astrologers differ on. I have seen strength be referred to as a one-sided relationship, and I completely respect everybody's opinions on it. For me, I can't help but notice the infinity sign above her head and think, this is a bond that could last even if it looks bizarre. You know, a bond, being connected to a person, whether it's a friend, whether it's a romance, one is ferocious and one is graceful, but they balance. It's like Beauty and the Beast, you know? She comes in all intelligent and beautiful and kind. You know, I think Belle was probably a Libra. I think the Beast was probably an Aries, personally, but that's not the point. And this reminds me of Beauty and the Beast, and you can learn a lot from that tale because she comes in, he's very, very angry. He's very angry with himself because it was his vanity and his selfishness that put him into the costume, as it were, that he's in and then he's stuck in. And then she comes in and she's quite secure in herself. She knows what is right and what is wrong. She is patient and she is kind and she is a free thinker. She's not restricting herself to marry the man that everybody else seems to want. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't restrict herself to doing something to please others, and she sees the beauty within. That's kind of what I see for this relationship that you may be going into, Libra. Could be somebody who's quite defensive, could be somebody who's quite ferocious. In fact, the Seven of Wands is very like that, very defensive energy. And you're kind of bringing to each other something very important, and it's a stability that you go into the middle of the month seeking. Okay? Someone is going to be your sense and your source of strength. And you don't need to downplay yourself. You don't need to be insecure or fretful about this, because the Empress is showing up for you. You are the Empress, okay? So bear that in mind. For a lot of you, you're seeking a greater commitment for sure. And justice kind of tells me that the reason it's not happened yet is because you weren't putting yourself in positions or relationships or friendships or jobs, etc., that were providing you with what you deserve, right? Justice can sometimes come in, put down the sword and say, this is my decision. You're not staying with this person because they're not treating you right. You're not sticking along this path because it's making you unhappy. You need this. I'm cutting this out. You know, the way a judge would say, this is my ruling. This is my decision. That's it. I've heard everything. I've analysed it. I've assessed it. And I've made a decision, and that's that. That's what's happening here. So if something's not worked out and you're very upset about it and it didn't go down the path that you wanted, it's because justice is saying that's not right for you. I'm bringing you something else. And it's bringing you something else for sure because it's an ace. The energies are beginning. The energies are new. The energies are fresh. This is somebody you can trust, by the way. King of Pentacles, very trustworthy. So don't be alarmed if he appears more aggressive, or, well, I don't mean aggressive in a physical sense, but quite defensive, or just appears a little bit aloof or hard to get through to. Because that's the thing with the Lion. It could be a Leo, of course, but that's the thing with the Lion. They look scarier, but they're actually quite loyal. So I'm going to be drawing a card from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck by Kim Kranz because I absolutely love this. I've had this for about a week. I'm still learning it, so I'll probably read a little bit from the book, but it gives such a good perspective on the personality and the energies around you. Oh, the oyster. Oh, wow. The oyster, actually, Libra, is sort of about getting past the hard external shell to the pearl within. Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. Okay, so let's read a little bit about the oyster and see what we've got. Okay, so patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. So this person looks scarier than they are. Yes. They're quite private. Okay, so the focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. So you might put your mind to getting through to this person, and it very well might happen. Well, actually, to be honest, I'm pretty sure something's happening here, so wouldn't worry about it. They achieve with grace and charm. So that's you. Grace and charm. The only problem is oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful. This can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires and life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What have you been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. So when in balance, feeling blessed, generous and masterful. I did speak earlier about being grateful and feeling blessed with Jupiter. That's how you get things back. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, clams up, and to bring into balance, you have to share something. So you might have to share your feelings to get through to this person who is very oyster-like. They're holding information back, but they have the beauty within. So this really is a Beauty and the Beast type theme. I love that. Really love that. It's like there's a hidden pearl in your life, this person. And I feel like it's, for a lot of you, it's somebody new. And when I say new, I mean, last few months or something, but you could just be dealing with this with somebody you've known a long time. And you're going through a new phase. So I love this reading for you, actually, Libra. Venus and Aries, it is that kind of romance with a sort of assertive and aggressive streak, but there's a real pearl underneath. So I hope you guys enjoyed that reading. I hope that the rest of April works out beautifully for you. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you guys in the next month. Bye.